G'day, welcome back to another episode of Four Wheeling in New South Wales. Welcome new viewers, make sure you have a look around the channel, there's plenty in the playlist, and for the regulars, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Product Spotlight Info. So what have I got today to share? Well, it pretty much goes hand in hand when you're out camping, bacon and eggs for breakfast and fresh hot coffee. So I've got this awesome little bit of gear here to share with you guys and girls. It's from a company called OutIn, and it is a portable espresso coffee machine. That's right, you can have hot, fresh coffee anywhere you camp, and you can even throw it in a backpack if you're into hiking, mountain biking, whatever. This little bad boy will create fresh, hot espresso coffee on the go. Takes about 3.5 minutes, and you can even put espresso or Nespresso pods in the bottom. So let's unwrap it, have a look, and I'll get to a discount deal a little bit further in the video. Let's check it out. So OutIn sent me this just recently. Bear with me, the cicadas out here are shocking. I've had a couple of goes at filming this in various locations and I just can't get away from these cicadas, so sorry about the background noise. So this came to me in the mail, as I said, a couple of weeks ago. Very keen to test it out actually and see how it works, how it operates. So quick unboxing, beautiful packaging. Like many things nowadays, they seem to spend a lot of time and effort into the boxing of it. We've got a little quick reference guide to different types of coffee. Also talks about how many coffees you will get out of a full battery charge, and also whether you use hot or cold water, that makes a difference. So I'll come back to that later in the clip. Inside we have got basically a cheat sheet, again talking about how many coffees, how to work it, what your battery lights and beeping sounds mean, a little bit there. There's also a mention on the end there about the battery charging or recharging. Again, I'll come to that a little bit later in the clip because that is quite important. Then inside the box there's another little pamphlet on how to use your Nano. It's like a quick reference guide if you really want to jump straight in and start making hot fresh espressos. Little sticker sheet, that's pretty cool. They'll go on my coffee table with my other collection. And a user manual which looks rather daunting at 88 pages, but there's about a dozen pages in the front in English, and then obviously various languages in the back. So a bit of info, troubleshooting. There's a QR scanning code there as well, so you could scan it if you want to work out how you use it for tutorials, etc. So there's a bit about brewing in there. Alright, so a little foam insert. Now this is the machine. I'll get it all out so you can see exactly what it is. Alright, so in the box you've got obviously the machine itself, you've got the serving cup that goes on the bottom, and then there's two adapters. This one is for the Nespresso pods. You've got a little measuring cup and tamper all in one, and then a USB-C to USB-C charging cord. Now I have added into the box a 12-volt car cigarette lighter plug, which is a fast charging plug. That is quite important, so I'll come back to that as part of the charging of it. So how does it work? Well, let's do a demo and I'll show you exactly. So cool. Little button on the front, your power button, and that operates how it's going to make the coffee. So a single press shows you 100% power, the 4 lights, and then you can press it and hold it for 2 seconds and it will actually heat the water in the unit and then extract the fresh espresso out the bottom. Or you can put hot water in it, so pre-boil it in the jet boil or something like that, put it in the top, double press it, and it will just extract the water and coffee out the bottom. So you don't have to use it to heat water, and that is a massive power saver. The device feels quite weighty too. It feels like it's got quality material in it. Comes in 5 or 6 different colours also. All the relevant details will be linked below in the description. So take the bottom cap off. Inside the cap is another adapter. So this is the one for fresh coffee, which has got the metal grate in the bottom, if that picks up on camera. And then the other one has the 3 little prongs in there, and you put your pot in, press it in firmly until it pops it, and away you go. So I'm going to do a fresh coffee to start with. There is a real art to coffee as well. I'm kind of learning that along the way, not just with this machine, but generally. With your coffee, depending on whether you really finely grind the beans or you do a coarser grind, that will change the flow of water going through, the extraction of the coffee, and that can change the end result. If you make it too fine, it takes a lot more pressure and work to get the espresso out the bottom, and that can generally lead to more of a burnt, bitter taste, whereas coarse, you get a watery, weaker sort of taste because the water can flow through a lot quicker. So keep that in mind when you are grinding up your coffee. Now, this is a little sample pack that my lovely wife bought me a little while back, so I might try this one, actually, a smoothie. That's a smoothie flavour apparently. Now, I cheated. I have got a coffee grinder which is battery operated, rechargeable. I have got a manual one there as well, but often when you want a fresh coffee first thing in the morning, you don't want to stand there and have to grind for 20 minutes if you've got a couple of coffees to make. So pop in the necessary amount of coffee in there, hit the button, away you go. You can be cooking breakfast, doing whatever else, and that'll grind it up for you. So really handy. I just bought that online. Now, they say around 7 grams apparently is what you'd normally get in an espresso. So I've just got a little cheap set of scales here to test it. Put that on. That's 16 grams. So obviously I'll take out just enough for that and grind it up. So there's a little bit more in there than I need, but that's fine. Alright, get that out of the way. So that simply goes back on there, like so. Hit the button. Now, just while that is grinding, talking about the power, you need a 3 amp output to recharge the battery. I plugged it in at home with just a standard cord and a wall socket, and none of the lights lit up on the front, which indicated that it wasn't charging or it was faulty. It turns out that my wall socket wasn't putting out 3 amps. Now, you can buy them cheap enough at Big W, Kmart, places like that. However, I am going to be using this far more out in the bush than what I would be at home. So what I opted to do, the plug I showed earlier, I went to Kmart, and that's a higher wattage output. I just checked that it does do 3 amp output. That way it will charge in my car. Obviously now I have got sockets at home. If I wanted to charge that up at home, I can do so, and I've got that for in the car. Made more sense though to buy one of those specifically. So just make sure you do have a 3 amp charging unit, otherwise you're not going to be able to recharge it once it's flat. Having said that, they do say if you use the heat and extraction of the unit, you will get somewhere between 2 to 4 cups before it's fully flat or flat enough it needs recharging. If you fill it with hot water, you can get around 100 to 200 cups, so it makes a massive difference. So just make sure if you do run it down, you've got a way of recharging it. I generally would probably just charge it up each time I've used it if we're camping up for a few days, but yeah, it's something to keep in mind. So now with the actual unit, you simply put in 50 mils of water. It's marked inside with a 50 mil, a 70 mil and a maximum line, which I think is 80. 50 mil will give you the right ratio of water to beans to time of extraction so that you get the perfect espresso each time. So that should be enough now. I'll just put that in there. And yeah, the other thing with coffee too is you should only ever really grind up enough to use then and there. You don't want it sitting in containers once you've ground it, because it does lose its freshness. So even airtight containers, always best to just do what you're going to use. So fill the little cup up, then that simply goes over the top like so. Invert it, Give it a tamp down. Not super hard. Again, if you over press it, it changes the grind. Get your excess off. Alright, lid on, like so. Then that simply goes down into the base. So I'll put some water in this now. So that's 50 mils in there. Screw the base on tight. You don't have to over tighten it because it's got obviously a seal on there, but just tighten that up. Then the lid goes on. Cup underneath. Press and hold for 2 seconds and that'll heat it and extract it. Takes around 3.5 minutes, so 1, 2. So one beep, and as you can see there, the first light's flashing slowly. They'll just go across as it progresses, and then once it's fully done, all the lights will light up with an audible beep and the espresso is ready out the bottom. As I said, it takes about 3 minutes 30, 3 minutes 40. What you can do in the time, if you wanted to make a latte or something like a mocha where you need milk, you could obviously heat up some milk in your billy or in a jet boil, and that way you've got your warm milk to go with the fresh espresso, or you can just drink it straight. I'm not a huge black coffee drinker myself, so I'd normally put milk with it, but just to show you how this unit works, we'll run through it. And then I'll do a pod next. I just bought some Nescafe Intensity number 6. I'm not a big strong coffee drinker, so I grabbed this number 6, so we'll give that a test in a minute. And there we go. So you can hear the noise now, the lights are flashing, and there is that espresso goodness coming out the bottom. I'll just pop that back on until it's done, and then I'll show you what sort of coffee it produces. I can already smell it. And generally the extraction should be somewhere between 20 to 30 seconds. If it's too quick, the coffee's going to have a weaker taste to it. If it's longer, obviously it's meaning it's taken more oomph to get the water through, so you'll have a lot stronger and sometimes bitter coffee taste. So it's a matter of just dialing in the coffee grounds, do a few tests and time it, and you'll soon pick up what suits your taste the best. Well, there you go. Nice rich thick crema on the top. It's nice and hot, I can feel that in my hand. And yeah, beautiful rich crema on the surface. So I'll give that a taste test and see what it's like. It smells good. Oh, that is actually really good. Oh, that's insane. That tastes as good as what you would get out of a machine at home. That is really good. Oh, that is so good. And I'm not as I said, I'm not a black coffee drinker. I'd normally have milk with my coffee, but yeah, just looking at it, there's plenty of crema on top. Beautiful. Oh, that is so good. Wow. So that's fresh coffee grounds done. I'm going to try the pod now and see how that works. So let's try that one out, eh? Alright. I'm only tipping that out because I don't want to load up on coffee. I've already had a few today. So I won't sleep tonight if I finish all that. I'll just run a little bit of water through the machine. And that can be done simply by double pressing to extract it straight away. And that'll just drain all the residual coffee out, which you should do each time anyway, just to get rid of any old coffee that might be in the pipe, so to speak. I'll swap the base over. Put that in there. Alright, so this one will be the Nespresso pod. So we'll crack these open. Pod simply goes lid facing out, goes down inside there, perfect fit. Press it down and you'll feel it, the spikes go into the base of the pod. That goes down into the adapter on the bottom. Screw that on. Chuck some water in. Alright, pop that back on there. And the lid on like so. We'll give this one a shot. I'll time this as well. Alright, so press and hold for 2 seconds. That's started. I'll start the stopwatch as well. I'll just pack the bits and pieces up while that's going. Now this is the sort of product too, it's the right size that you could leave that just in a bag in your drawers, packed away, you know, on the bottom floor of your car, behind your back seat, etc. There's any number of places you could store it. Probably just put it in a canvas bag. That's what I'm going to do, just with the bits and pieces. I won't drag the box around everywhere with me. It's just obviously a bit too big to have sitting in a drawer if you've got limited room as well. So great little unit though, out of the box. As I said, super easy to transport and store in your car, your four-wheel drive, etc. So that's roughly 2 minutes and it's almost at 75%. So yeah, very good coffee. I'm really surprised with a little machine like that. The fact that it can heat the water and extract the coffee. I'm going to play around with my coffee grinds a little bit more and just see what grind works best for my sort of flavour. But yeah, awesome bit of gear. You probably can't hear it above the cicadas now, but you can hear that heating. Oop, there we go. And there's the coffee coming out the bottom. And that's at 3 minutes, so the pod works quite quick. Alright, let's give this a taste test, eh? Oh yeah, this one looks like it's got even more crema on top. That's the thing to espresso, it's that caramelly coloured goodness on the top of the coffee. Nice sort of strong brew, but not too strong. So I'll give that one a taste test too, eh? Oh yeah, that one's a bit that one's a bit stronger to what I normally have. That's a number 6, so it does say intensity 6, doesn't actually tell you whether it's, well, it just says smooth. So yeah, I might go down to a number 4 because that's strong. Nice, very nice. Again, that would be on par with what you'd get out of a machine at home. So that's really good. I really like that. Next time I'll try it with the milk as well. I'll heat some milk up in the little jet boil and see how that goes. Yeah, that's really good. I might try a few different pods too. I'll buy a few different ones and give those a test out over the next coming few months. So I'll keep you updated. But that's really good. Definitely stronger than what I'd normally have, but I'll play around with my coffee grind and just get it to that perfect level. Regarding charging as well, on the back there's just a USB-C port, which, as mentioned earlier, you can either charge it off a home wall socket if you've got a 3 amp output, or out of your car or camp setup. So just make sure you get the right 12 volt charging plug. The cord comes with it, but obviously you do need that 3 amp output. Now I think from memory, from full flat to full charge, it's about 3 hours, and as I mentioned earlier, 2 to 4 cups if you heat and extract, or somewhere between 100 to 200 cups if you use the unit just to extract your own pre-boiled hot water. So keep that in mind. So what is in it for you guys other than fresh espresso coffee wherever you go? Well, the lovely people at OutIn have provided a discount code. I'll put it in the links below. If you're interested in purchasing one of these for your camp setup, use the discount code Full disclaimer, I do get a very small kickback from OutIn if you purchase it through the link. I'm not going to retire on it, it's not huge, but it saves you guys. They've given me a 10% off discount code. Have a look on their website. I'll put all the details below in the bio. Check out their website. They do a number of accessories as well. They got this cool little stand that you can actually put the coffee machine up on top of, and your cup sits underneath it. I liked it. I thought it's pretty cool if you had that set up on your table at a campsite. So they've got that. They've got a travel kit which comes in a padded bag similar to a drone style bag, and it's got injection molded foam inside it with the cutouts, and there's spots for pods. I'll put an overlay up on the screen anyway, but they do a whole bunch of accessories. As I said, this one is the space grey. They do 5 different colours, I think, so check them all out. They'll all be on their website. Feel free, any questions that I can answer, put in the comments below, and I'm happy to have a go. Check out their website. I'll put all the details below. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support. The channel's going really well. I'd love to hit 3,000 by the end of the year. May not happen, but bigger and better things next year. Really appreciate it. So thanks again. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Facebook, where regular updates are posted. And as we always say, stress less, camp more. Been saying it from day one. Get out there, enjoy the bush. Not so much the cicadas. We camped last weekend and they were everywhere. They were climbing all in our bags, all over our gear, and they're noisy. So just get out, enjoy the bush, stress less, camp more. Remember, take your rubbish with you, and we will see you on the tracks. And thanks again to OutIn for this product and for helping with this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and let me know if you end up getting one. Let me know what you think. What's your favourite coffee pod flavour intensity? Cheers guys, thanks again, catch you on the tracks.